We're backstage, so I'm Guildhall. The man is Tinie Tempah. I'm a bit nervous about being here.
Why? Don't be.
Because you're like the ambassador for music at the moment.
Thank you very much. That's a nice little title.
It is. It's huge at the moment.
Thank you. I don't like when people say at the moment. It's a bit rubbish.
Well, no. I mean, like.
You know what I mean, though. You're massive right now.
No.
You are
in a
huge.
good way. If you go back 4 years, what did you first put that tune about 2006?
Yeah.
So compared to then,
in that set, it's pretty much stepped up a little bit. You know, like but if people say, you are the man.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Just forever.
Yeah,
leave
just
it.
forever,
Leave
exactly, for a very, very long moment, if you will.
I see both sides, but I want to see more. I want to see you doing more to establish yourself. You don't need to, but
that's what we're going to do, definitely. With every single day that goes by, with every single month that goes by as well, we're always trying to do something new. Obviously, I've just recently surfaced. We've got a new album which is coming out this year as well as completing this tour. So there's a lot of stuff still to be done.
So if we rewind like a couple of years, you went touring with Chipmunk.
I did indeed, yes.
How does that feel now to, you're in charge, you're calling the shots, you're designing the stage?
Do you know what, it's absolutely incredible. There's little things that you kind of learn when you when you're a support act for somebody, you don't always get as much time as you want to rehearse. It's weird because me and Chipmunk get on really, really well. So I would usually be in like a horrible, grotty dressing room, which was tiny, and then I would walk into his room and it would be like luxurious leather sofas and microwaves. Who would have thought that a microwave is such a luxury? But when you're on tour, it is, and it's like things like that are only good things because it makes you aspire to want to get to that point where you get the microwave in your room.
Did you go back with Chipmunk before either of you had sort of hit the top 40?
Absolutely, yeah. I've known Chipmunk since he was 14 and he is 20 now.
So was that a bit weird when you're sort of both on a level, you're just rapping in a bedroom 1 minute, then suddenly you're on tour, he's got the big dressing room, and you've got the small one. That's how it always goes on tours, but is that a bit of a...
do you know what, I'd say if anything, in all honesty, it's amazing that you can find a genre of music where that is so prevalent, where that happens so often, not only with Chipmunk, but with Tinie Tempah, with Professor Green, with even Plan B to a certain degree, an example. I think that's an amazing thing. I think why are other genres not like that? If Professor Green is releasing a single, he can get on the phone to me and say, mate, can you please send a tweet out and let everybody know that I'm releasing a single? Right. And I'm like, yeah, with pleasure. So obviously when Chipmunk was going out in the big bad world and he was in the top 40 and he was doing extremely well, I loved the fact that he was my friend, and even though I was not in that position yet, he could sort of put me on his back.
And he would like encourage you and sort of bring you along.
It wasn't more or less like it wasn't like a direct encouragement, it was more indirect, it was more me just being inspired by what he was achieving and what he was doing at the time. Do you get what I mean? It was so funny because I was on the Chipmunk tour just as Pass Out got released. So on the first week, obviously you guys did the big top 40. When it was released on March the 7th, we found out a day later that it was #1 in the big top 40, and that was crazy. And I'm still on his tour, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Did that upset anything? Because the crowd.
Did you take over the microwave?
Give me the microwave.
I got rights on that microwave now.
To be fair, no, I didn't. The microwave was still very nice. However, it was a pretty big deal. I wouldn't say it upset anything. It came as a bit of a surprise, though, definitely.
Yeah, it's strange for the crowd to have had that high. Obviously, it was massive for the crowd that were there.
Absolutely.
When you've got the song of that second, it's hard for the guy following you, I guess.
Absolutely, but let me tell you something as well. I think, especially with what I like to do with my tours, I think people need to think about their tours and support acts more, in a sense where hopefully you're hoping that your support act will be as big as you are one day, if not even bigger. And it's your job. You almost have to become a talent scout, just so people can always say, when I came to Tinie's show or Chipmunk show, I saw the next big thing. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Do you get to choose then?
G-Fresh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't know whether it sort of came from the record company or anything like that.
The record company have nothing to do with it.
You just choose who's going to come on tour with you.
Absolutely.
And do you obviously you pick the best act and the act that's going to come with you, but Do you normally pick someone that's going to come out and party with you quite hard as well?
Do you know what? You never really know. That's the thing. You never really know. But like our team is so huge within itself.
You thought Cliff Richard was going to be alright.
Exactly, but he wasn't. It wasn't. What a waste of time that was. No, but basically, you know, my camp is pretty huge within itself. So when we go out, we have a really good time. And G Fresh, who is a brand new artist who's just been recently signed as well, he's supporting me on the tour, and we've known each other for a while. So yeah, I mean, kind of yes and no. It definitely does help.
And when you're on tour, do you go out and party every night? Do you head out?
Not. I slowed down.
No. I thought you were going to say absolutely we do.
No, not all the time. And in a few of my favourite cities, there are a few cities that I'm more familiar with than others. Do you get what I mean? So when I'm in those cities where I know certain people or I know certain spots to go to, I tend to go out. It's the worst when you've had an amazing show and you're like, okay, cool. What's the best club here? They're like Club Play or Club Fantasy or whatever, and you go there and there's like 4 people there. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I tend to be very selective with where I go.
Zoe and Gillies.
The Capital Breakfast Show.